In 2026, the creator economy leans heavily into digital products for one reason. Selling files means no shipping, overhead, or physical inventory. But getting a store off the ground hits a hard bottleneck. Building a high-quality ebook, planner, or masterclass from scratch takes weeks of intensive writing and graphic design. To bypass that work, many sellers purchase pre-made digital assets that already come with legal resale rights. Skipping the creation phase solves the time problem instantly, but it replaces it with a new hurdle: market saturation. Because you didn't create the product, you are selling the exact same file as other people. Succeeding in this space doesn't mean finding a secret supplier. It requires understanding exactly which licensing model fits your specific business constraints. Before you evaluate a single platform, you have to decode the 3 licensing acronyms that govern this market. They dictate exactly what you can and cannot legally do with a file. This chart shows the rules. PLR lets you edit, rebrand, and claim direct authorship. With MRR, customers can resell the locked product, but you cannot edit or claim authorship. Finally, RR allows selling to the customer, but they cannot resell it further. Pick the wrong license and you guarantee failure. You'll either burn hours editing PLR when you needed a fast launch, or fail to build a distinct brand selling uneditable MRR files. There are dozens of marketplaces selling these assets. Choosing the right one requires mapping out your specific time limits and branding needs. We evaluate platforms on a quadrant. The horizontal axis measures time and effort. The vertical axis tracks uniqueness. Buying ready-made products traps you in the bottom left. Low effort, low uniqueness. Customizing raw content moves you to the top right, achieving high uniqueness but costing steep time. You cannot have instant speed and complete uniqueness simultaneously. As a platform forces a choice on this spectrum. Let's look at the extremes. Strategy A is the premium authority builder. This path is strictly for established coaches and consultants. For this strategy, you pay premium per-item prices on specialized platforms like PLR.me or ContentSparks. Then you spend significant time rewriting and rebranding the content to match your specific voice. The result is a high-ticket lead magnet or course. But the friction to launch is massive, and you need an existing audience to justify the upfront cost and effort. The absolute opposite approach is Strategy C, the volume aggregator. Here, you buy a cheap bulk subscription to sites like Big Product Store or IDPLR to sift through thousands of older, uncurated digital files. You gain massive inventory for mega bundles. The trade-off is a high risk of brand dilution because you are selling outdated, generic content. Neither of these extremes works for the average side hustler. A beginner lacks the existing audience needed for Strategy A and the time required to sort through low-quality data for Strategy C. That leaves Strategy B, the aesthetic fast launcher. This is the modern solution for budget-conscious, time-poor beginners. The input here is purchasing pre-designed modern MRR assets, like AI prompt packs or digital planners from highly curated platforms like Resell. Because the visual assets are pre-made, you completely bypass the traditional, time-consuming graphic design phase. You output an immediately native-looking storefront, ready to deploy on platforms like Etsy, Instagram, or Sellfy. But there is a trade-off. Because the aesthetics are completely done for you, you face intense visual competition from other sellers buying those exact same MRR assets. For this fast launch strategy, your success relies entirely on marketing positioning, your social media reach, and clever product bundling. Product creation is out of the equation. With the trade-offs clear, we can strictly map your current resources to the correct platform and license combination. If you are an absolute beginner or side hustler, your primary constraint is a lack of time. This scorecard shows your exact solution. Choose MRR products from modern platforms like Resell. This allows you to focus your limited hours entirely on marketing. If you are an established coach or creator, your primary constraint is maintaining premium brand equity and trust. Your solution is to use PLR strictly as a base material. You must heavily customize it to match your unique voice before launching. Selecting the correct pathway prevents the ultimate creator burnout. You will exhaust yourself trying to force a volume strategy on a premium brand or a heavy customization strategy on a weekend schedule. There is one specific type of hopeful seller who will fail in this market and should walk away entirely. It is the person who believes the persistent social media myth that anyone can buy a cheap bulk site ebook, upload it unchanged, and generate effortless passive income. The strict reality of the year 2026 is that mere access to digital files provides absolutely no competitive advantage. In a deeply saturated market, your true edge comes down to curation, aesthetic quality, and how accurately your chosen license aligns with your long-term brand goals.